Action News Investigates has found a security flaw that could affect thousands of apartment buildings and condo buildings all across the country.
A Pittsburgh lock expert first uncovered the problem and is working with security companies to fix it.
Investigative reporter Paul Van Osdal joining us live this afternoon. So, Paul, what exactly is the problem here?
Well, Kelly, it involves the intercoms that residents use to talk to visitors and then let them into their building. Well, Pittsburgh lock expert Mark Tobias says many of these systems have significant security flaws, potentially allowing intruders to get inside these buildings without any sign of forced entry. If you've been to an apartment or condo building, you've probably seen intercom systems like these that allow residents to buzz in visitors. Pittsburgh attorney and lock expert Mark Tobias has one in his own condo. Using a small shim available at any auto parts store, he opened the panel in 12 seconds. He also used a key he bought on Amazon for $15 to unlock the panel.
And now I have access to all the electronics, and I can cause the elevator to come, or I can open the front door.
A very big concern if you're living here.
I would say so. It's a big concern in every building.
Tobias did not go into details to avoid giving burglars a how-to guide, but he says unlocking the intercom panel can give any intrepid intruder a way to get inside any building.
If you can circumvent the system, you have access to the building. And it's that simple. And then once you're in the building, you can do whatever you want.
Tobias says the problem is a cheap lock used on the panels. He took his concerns straight to the company that makes the panel on his building and thousands of others, including many in the Pittsburgh area. How did they respond when you did that?
Really very well. I talked to their CEO and their entire engineering team. They really had no idea.
We want to thank Mark for bringing this to our attention.
Action News Investigates talked to the CEO of Carey Systems, the company that makes the intercom panel on Mark's building.
He knows his stuff, and so when he articulated the two mechanisms that somebody could use to get into the box, we took that seriously.
CEO Ken Geisler says he is replacing the cheap locks with high security locks like this one that Tobias obtained for his building. Tobias says the key for the new lock cannot be replaced with a cheap imitation bought online. What would happen if you tried to use your shim on this lock?
Wouldn't do anything.
Geisler says he told some of his competitors in the security panel industry about the problem Tobias uncovered.
We did reach out to them because we do consider it an industry-wide problem. There are millions of systems out there, probably just in the U.S.
A lock industry official tells Action News Investigates the problem affects most apartments, condos, and gated communities that use intercom systems. Would you say the vast majority of these systems do not have the right locks?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Could something catastrophic occur from that? Certainly.
That's a big concern for Pittsburgh apartment and condo tenants we spoke to.
I mean, I would think it would be pretty important that they'd get on that pretty soon, because I mean, if you're saying they have problems, then I mean, I don't want problems at my place.
I think that's horrible. I mean, that's really scary. If that's something that's going on, I think, residents of any apartment building, especially here in the South Side, they need to be notified of that.
Now, Ken Geisler, the CEO we interviewed, tells me that any tenant who has a concern about the lock on their intercom panel should bring those concerns to their building manager in writing. Andrew, Kelly?
Well, Paul, that's a fascinating report, and I do want to ask you, do all these intercom panels have locks, or are there other ways that they're secured?
Well, Andrew, Geisler and Tobias tell me some of these panels don't even have locks. They have what's called security screws, and they're actually even easier to get into than those with the locks on them.
All right, Paul Van Osdal live for us. Thank you very much.